Okay, hello. This is going to be a bit different because today I will be recording while I'm painting. I was about to say, that's obvious. I'm not doing a voiceover. I'm doing the voice as we go. The reason why I normally don't do that is partially I think the sound is not as good because now I am recording on my phone. I hope it will be okay. But also, since I have my little studio at home and I have 3 children living at home, I tried the do not disturb sign on my door, but that's not really helpful. So oftentimes there will be a knock knock, and then there's a morning, or there is worse, someone yelling, or I don't know, it might be a lot of things. So I don't really have a quiet environment. So that is the reason why I usually don't record while I'm doing it. Otherwise I'm fine. A friend of mine said, "Oh, Molly, you should try that," or "Why don't you do that?" And she thought initially it was because I didn't like it. And I was like, oh, no, I don't have problems like talking and painting at the same time. It would even be more comfortable because I don't have to edit anything voice-wise. It's just I'm afraid that there might be sound pollution. Okay, today, one of the reasons why I'm doing this way today is I really did not feel like making a video today. I did not even feel like painting something today, or at least not what I usually paint. I am right now in a period where I want to draw or paint something completely different, not magical landscapes, but rather I'm right now trying to learn how to paint skies. I am following a Domestika course from Oopsie. Her name is Katarzyna Kmiecek. And not sponsored by Domestika, by the way. I just like their courses. I have seen a lot of them. So I'm kind of into that right now. And then I found this old thing that I at least finished. I wasn't into that either, but then I thought, well, do it anyway. And I think we can all relate, right? We don't always feel like painting. And there has been so much other things going on in my life right now that I really haven't felt a lot like painting. But I thought it would be good to do a video anyway. And just, let you know that I really can relate, that you sometimes just sit in front of an empty paper and you have no idea what you're going to paint, or you don't feel like it at all. Don't wait for the muse to come. They are unreliable bitches, so take matters in your own hands and just do it. This one was another old one. I think it is a mixture of ink and watercolor. Ink often behaves like that it will really spread like this, and I really like that. So I thought maybe, I could just continue painting on this one. This one has been on and off. I've been painting a little bit on it, and then I will just put it aside, and I paint a little bit on it, and I put it aside. I don't really feel it's done yet. I think something is missing here. I'm not sure if I want to make like some kind of nebula down here, that it looks like stars or something. I have not decided. But I will use this paper, and it is Fabriano Hot Press, 25% cotton. I think it is not as smooth as Arches. I think Arches is really, it is so smooth. This is hot press, but it still has a little bit of texture. I kind of like it, and it's really sturdy as well. And I don't stretch my paper or anything. I guess I should. I just find it so boring, so I don't do that. Okay, and colors will be on the greenish. I still have some Perylene green here, and then I have something, don't know, green, some other green. Let's spray it a little bit. Oh yeah, and I have been so bad at answering your questions in the comments, and I'm really sorry for that. I'm saying that all the time. Oh yeah, I'm going to get better at it, and then I don't. Partially, I don't see the comments. It's if you have YouTube and YouTube Studio on your phone. I don't know if you have the similar problem that you can't always. I can't see the comments. And then when I check on the computer, and I'm very, very rarely on the computer, and suddenly I see a bunch of comments. But I was thinking maybe I should do some kind of Q&A. You know, like taking notes of like really getting in there, checking the comments, writing them down or printing them out or whatever. And then I'll make a video where I will just be sitting and doodling, and I will be answering all those questions. I know, for example, that someone has been asking if I use a fixative for my paintings, and I don't. Not even when I use soft pastels. The reason for that is, oh my god, can you see how everything is shaking? That is because I have seen several soft pastel professional artists who say they never seal, they do not use fixatives or anything like that. And the ones I have been trying really have been ruining the paintings, so I just don't use it. I do not wax, I do not, nothing like that. Okay, here I have my inks. Some of them are acrylic inks, some of them are watercolor. Watercolor. I have nothing particular in mind at all, so this might just turn out like poop. I will take a big brush. This is a Who Knows. It has been worn off so much. I think it is Squirrel. I think I got it a long time ago from my husband. I have so many brushes, and I don't use a lot of them, I have to say. Some of them are real hair, but I do prefer synthetic brushes. Just for the simple reason that there's no animal involved. And I mean, that might be a bit hypocritical, like I'm a hypocrite because I eat meat and I have leather shoes, and so I mean, why can't I use brushes? And yeah, well, that might be true, but baby steps, I guess. I don't know, and you don't have to go all in, you know. No one is perfect, and I try to eat not as much meat, and I try to eat good meat, as in it's not, you know, from big farms or something. I live on this small island, Åland, and I preferably buy meat here from locals. Okay, see, this is the risk when you just talk, that you suddenly talk about other things. I will start with this. And should we spray? Yeah, we can spray. I have my little spray bottle here. Shoopy-doopy-doo. Spray it kind of a lot. And take some of the green. Ooh, yes. This is so nice. I really like when it does that. This spreading over here. So pretty. It looks like a map, you know, when you look on a, like on a world map or something. And just put in a little bit. This will be super pale once this has dried. That is always something to keep in mind. That is also one of the reasons why I started to use colors direct from the tube and put it on paper, because it would give me more pigment. Okay, something like that. And this is not, I have no idea. I mean, I will probably put in some trees, right? But this is just putting it there, doing something, hoping that it will get my creative brain going, which is kind of sleeping right now. Not expecting much from this, really. Okay, and now maybe I will be putting on some inks. Already we can see how it is drying here and giving these kind of hard edges. I like that. There is one watercolor artist that his name is Björn something, and when looking at his paintings, I'm pretty sure he really is after those blooms, because he has got a lot of blooms in his paintings, and I really like that look. I'm really not the one who thinks that blooms are to be avoided. Of course, if you want a perfectly blue sky, like in the middle of July when you are in the northern hemisphere, then you don't maybe want a lot of blooms, but otherwise I like them. Oh yeah, this is watercolor. Oh yeah, where are my acrylic inks? This is mostly now watercolor. Okay. I bought these at a local store. They were on sale. I was not super impressed by them. But if you see this, I really like that. I really like the spreading. I have, as you can see here also, I have a bit of a from the brush, there's something fell off. You know what I mean? Straw, whatever. Yeah, look how nicely this is kind of crawling over the paper. I think that's really pretty. Maybe something that is a bit darker. Now, maybe let's try this one. And this one, let me tell ya, it is so dark. There is a risk that when I put this on here now, it will just take over completely, because it is so intense. And this is an acrylic ink. Look at that. It reminds me of the nothingness from the Never-Ending Story. The Never-Ending Story, I'm pretty sure you're familiar with it. I do not know if you all know that it is by Michael Ende, which is a German author. And I listened to the audiobook when I was a kid, you know, on a cassette, on a cassette. That's how old I am. And I was always a bit afraid of it. There were certain passages that I can still remember how unpleasant I thought they were. And I was so scared of this nothingness. Put a little bit there, and again. I mean, honestly, just for the sake of seeing this, it's kind of nice to do things like this every now and then. It's not super expensive paper. And again, this will, I mean, as you can see here, these patterns, they kind of flow together and they're not as crisp anymore. Yeah, I won't be, no, I will just leave it like this and just let it dry. Okay, maybe something more greenish, brownish. Did I use this one? I did. Maybe I can use this one, is a bit darker. It's also some liquid watercolor. Or no, maybe maybe we can use this. This is also some ink spray. My art store here, my local art store, it's quite small, but they have a lot of, they have a lot of fun stuff. Choop. Okay. Looks like fungus now, or something. Okay, maybe that was too much, never mind. And the attitude should always be, you know what I'm going to say now? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This is a bit darker. Some, like, I don't know. Why do they just have numbers? Why don't they have names? Some brownish, maybe some burnt umber. No, not burnt umber. Umber, yeah, sepia. Sienna, reddish brown. But I'm not sure I really like that. I think I would want a little bit more of the darker green down here. So I will take some more the perylene green and put it here. Maybe I can remove this little, no, I'll do it later when it has dried. And again, this will probably dry in a way that it will not look like this. Yeah, well, okay, something like this. And while it is drying, I can start to think about where do I want to put what. But one thing we'll do, or what I will do once this has dried, I will start to turn it around, you know. Maybe I should put a little bit more yellow or something down here, like that. Okay, like that. I like that better. Okay, so I will turn it around and see if there are some parts that I like better, or if maybe I just want to use part of it and not all of it. Yeah, okay, just a little break and be right back. Okay, so it has dried pretty much. I used a blow dryer, and when using a blow dryer, one has to think of that you will depending on how closely you hold it to the paper, it will spread the water like it did here. There was like some puddle here, and when blow drying it, it makes these marks. Sometimes maybe that might be something that you want to have, maybe sometimes you don't, and you have to keep that in mind. And now I can turn this and see if I want to have it in a different position. I did not like this, so I won't be that. I don't really have a clear favorite. I mean, I might just go with this as I started out from the beginning. I think this might be some foresty scene where this is more the sky and like different areas in the forest with maybe a slope or something. This paper, hot press, I think, is easier for lifting color. Now, I had a little brush that was really good for that purpose. I don't know where that is anymore, but I prefer one that is like a flat brush with quite stiff what is it called? The brushes? A brush with stiff brushes. That's redundant. It's a stuff with bristles. Bristles, thank you. With stiff bristles. Because if it is too soft, this might work as well. Yeah, this might work. This is, you can see it's like a children's brush that I bought from the store, from the supermarket. And I will get my water here. And just to basically show it. I'll wet an area and oops, I need paper. And then you lift it like that. Of course, you can do that with a cold press too, but I find it's easier with the hot press since it's more smooth, right? So there is a medium that is called lifting something. It's lifting preparation. There are different ones. There, Winsor Newton and Schminke has also one, and it's, oh my god, it broke. I know that many of you, one of the reoccurring questions is, why do you wear gloves? Why do you wear gloves? They're so ugly, and someone even thought it looked like a serial killer. It is just as simple that I don't like seeing my hands. I really don't. I don't really have special hands. They're not super ugly. They're not pretty. They're just normal hands. But I don't like seeing my hands when I do stuff. So that's really the only reason why I wear gloves. And that's some weird issue. I know that. It would probably just be better to not wear them because people will probably not even look at them. But it's just, a weird thing. We have the Winsor Newton and there is Schminke, and apparently the Winsor Newton, I don't know if it's more diluted, but Katarzyna was talking about this because she used it in one of her paintings, that this one you can basically apply immediately, and the Schminke she recommended to dilute with water because otherwise it made the watercolor behave weirdly. I have tried it once, but that's so long ago I don't even remember, so I have not used it since. if you have, this is one of the reasons to have a good paper, because if you have paper that is too thin, thin cellulosa paper, you cannot really do this with, you end up with having toilet paper. You will ruin the surface, and you know, it will get all crumbly. Okay, I think one option would be to go with a very big tree that starts. So this would be basically the root of the roots of the tree, and then it goes like this. I mean, I basically already have the tree shape here, right? It already looks like a tree, so I could do that. Or I could make smaller trees, maybe have this like some kind of opening and put a little deer here or something. Or make a tree down here and put a little red fox here. And since we cannot go back in time and try it and go back and do it again, I think I will, yeah, I'll just have to go with something. Trying to just sketch in very loosely how it would be if I would put the big tree here and let it just go out of the painting. Yeah, I might just do that. Let's do that. Sometimes I tend to, I kind of ruin the painting because I put in too much, you know. I really don't want to, what I don't want to do now is to put on a lot of pigment here, you know, just take some brown pigment or neutral tint or whatever and just make a huge tree trunk, because then this would all be lost. So I want to keep this. And maybe I just want to kind of continue in the same color. So I will be using some of the greens that I have. Since I had the Parylene here and yellow, and the Parylene is very blue-green, I will use rather this that is a bit more on the yellow side. I also have, here's a bit of neutral tint and Van Dyke Brown. Neutral tint is, I really love neutral tint, but it is very, I think it's a cold color, right? I mean, color, I know some of color theory, but some of the artists, when I hear them talk, they're so certain about, and this is a blah, blah, blah color, and this is pigment PB18, and I have no clue about that. I wouldn't even remember it. Give a painting a name. The pigments, I will just forget. But neutral tint is purplish, so it is kind of colder. Since it's purplish, though, it might work well with these orange yellow colors, right? Because purple and yellow are complementary colors. So maybe I will start out with a bit of more of the greenish yellow, and then it turns more to the neutral tint up here. It looks good in my head, and let's see how it goes. I have no favorite brushes. This is a brush, this is a size 10. I got that a long time ago from Artify. Let's dilute this a little bit. My God, this is going to be the longest video ever, I think. I hope you guys will watch it. So I basically just continue This is the, I don't know, was this? It has already blended a bit here, the neutral tint and the Van Dyke brown. When you think of painting trees, oh, here, by the way, I'm not really great at painting clouds, as you can see. Someone was asking about the clouds and if I could show how I made them. And maybe I was just lucky when I made them. When you make a tree, don't think trunk, tree. Think rather, you have to think that it's a three-dimensional shape, and therefore you will kind of use the negative space as well. You can just this would basically be that you have the light from this side, and that would be the dark side, and the shadows will, if you make it like this, right, this would be like a tube, and then it would be right. But tree trunks often don't look like that, or most don't. So you want to give it like some kind of organic shape and make the shadows crawl around a bit, and you don't even have to paint everything. You could just have, some parts completely left out. Okay. So, some more dark. The light is obviously, if we want to make it somewhat correct, the light is coming from behind, so. Putting in a bit more here to show that the tree is basically continuing here without ruining too much of the shapes that are already there. And I will make this one part of the root. Also, this is not really recommended if you listen to people who are really good at painting trees and alike, and I actually do not count myself to be one of those. They give you the recommendation to always have a reference photo, because it is easier, it's kind of overcourse, it's overcourse, yeah, I don't know, overcourse, when something is too difficult, basically, to do it freestyle, because you have to know how trees look to be able to do it freestyle. This is, by the way, if you like this kind of video, this is more something that I will be putting on my Ko-Fi page. Longer videos, this will be incredibly long now, but where I talk a bit more about certain issues or paper quality or brushes or colors, and where you get to see more of the whole process. The last video was really kind of short. And yeah, the ASMR channel is still in the making too, but it's... everything is so slow. And with that, I am kind of slow. Using a bit more of the same color over here to kind of indicate that it belongs together. And later when it has dried, I can smooth some of the edges. And we still have to think about the contrast, right? We don't want this just to be too pale. And I'm not really aiming for super realistic tree, because then I would have needed a reference, because I can't just, you know, and this is a this is an oak or something. Oops, you saw this here. It was very wet, and when brushing over it, it was just, I was lifting pigment. I didn't intend that, but that happens sometimes. And that is easier when it's hot press. Okay. I take a smaller brush, my liner. I don't even know. This is Zhu Ting. I have no idea where I got this from. I mean, you see how it looks. It doesn't look great, but when I wet it, it suddenly is all good again. And I do some just some smaller branches. I'm kind of wiggling it. I've said it before. I'm not really trying to make waves. I am trying to, you know, always going back a little bit, like going back and forth a little bit. If I really exaggerate the movement, it's a bit like this. But I do it just very, very little, and it somehow gives a more correct shape. So it's not, I've heard someone say it, and I agree with her. It's not really about the brush. It doesn't matter what you, I mean, if you give Björn blah blah blah, Björn B something, if you give him a crappy brush, he will still make you a lovely painting. You can give him shitty paper and you can give him super cheap watercolors, and he will still make a great painting. So it's unfortunately, it's not in the brush. That would have been so nice. I mean, you should see me how frustrated I am when I'm painting now, and I'm seeing Katarzyna Kmiecik. She also makes the most lovely tree scenarios. She's super great with light, and she has a YouTube channel, but she hasn't posted in a long while. She's also on Instagram. I think she's too busy doing other stuff now. Anyhow, I get so frustrated when I try to do those things because they just don't look as good as hers. Okay, maybe I could do some, I don't know, maybe some smaller trees in the background, or could do some splattering here to give it like an effect of, I don't know, mossy things. I'll just leave the water like that. Yeah, I wanted to smooth out the edges a little bit. Let's take my little, no, I want a smooth brush. I think I'll take this one. I'll take this one. And I will almost have it dry. Making it a bit softer. I don't know, not necessarily for the better. Sometimes it's better to have the lines. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe could put a little white owl in here or something. Or some more tree over here. But you know, I've been painting forever now, it feels. So I think I will just leave it at this for now. And I'll show you next time how this one finished up, because I don't feel it's finished. It needs something more. I think I might put a little bit more purplish here, add some purple wash over here, and put something more reddish down here. Maybe I even add just some small red dots or something. Maybe there are mushrooms. That goes with the green. Yeah, I don't know yet. I'll just let it rest like this, and yeah, I hope you liked following along. It's not the kind of video that I made so far. It's a bit different, but you know, now I'll just post it the way it is, and or maybe I do it in 2 parts even. I don't know, because it's gonna be so long if I, you know what, no, I'll just post it, and whoever wants to see it will see it, and I hope the ones who see it will like it, and ask questions, and I will write them down, and I will answer them next time. Thank you very much for watching and for supporting the channel and me, and yeah, have a lovely day. Bye bye.